Never make any decisions or choices or changes when you feel that your vibe is low. Your vibe, your energy, your mood, your frequency, it's all the same. So this is what happened. Today, I'm sitting in my car. It's mid-morning and I start questioning myself. Am I making the right choices? Am I getting the results I want? Is that change I made a good change? Should I have seen a result already? Is the result that I'm getting good enough? I started asking myself all these questions as far as the progress and what I have done and what I have made, and also thinking about making changes. Well, maybe I should do this. Well, maybe I should do that. And the thing is that I'm not really sure where all these questions were coming from, but I got to a point where I did realize that my vibe was low. How do I know that my vibe is low? Well, the way that I know that my frequency is starting to come down is when I start having poor thoughts. Poor thoughts leads to poor feelings. And then you could be sure that after those poor feelings, it's just a matter of time before you have a poor action. So I was already at the poor feeling part. I just got caught slipping. I usually catch it right at the poor thoughts. And then I raise my frequency right away. But like in this case, I guess there was just enough happening to where I was distracted. I got caught slipping and then I let it go into poor feelings because I definitely felt the poor feelings. I felt the pressure in the chest. I started feeling the shoulders kind of coming down. I started kind of complaining and whining about everything. These questions weren't so much like, I wonder if I should make some changes or maybe I should make some adjustments here, adjustments there. You know, what I like to call making some tweaks, tweaking the plan a little bit. It wasn't like that at all. It was more along the lines of, man, is this even right? Is this even good? It was more of a whiny, complainy than strategically thinking about making an adjustment. I got caught slipping, I'm telling you, it was tough. The other red flag that I didn't catch is that I was bored. Boredom leads to desire, leads to whatever you do to cope. I was definitely bored. There was this span of time where I wasn't doing anything. Work was slow. There wasn't no action going on. It was cold outside, so I used that as an excuse to not get out of my car and go get some cardio done, which is what I usually do. So I definitely self-sabotaged. I messed myself up. Even though it was cold, I should have put my sweatshirt back on, got outside, gone for a walk, maybe done some push-ups, maybe some dips, my regular routine to make up for this slow time that was going on. But I didn't. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. What I did instead is I just chilled out. I kicked it. So I started getting bored. The B word. Think of all the times that you've been bored. Usually what follows boredom? Whining, complaining. Why? Because you're desiring that things would go your way, that you wouldn't be bored. You're entitled. You want it to be not boring. Once I was bored, that's when all the whining, the complaining, the disappointments, the oh man, and the woe is me. And then it just hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Luckily, that moment came because there was two ways it could have gone. It could have gone to one of the things that I do to cope, or what happened, which is I realized what I was doing and I fixed it. How did I fix it? I raised my vibration. I was like, wait a minute, okay. I'm having poor feelings already. For sure I'm having poor feelings because my body feels this way and I feel like this inside. So what do I do with the poor feelings? It's like, wait a minute, did I have poor thoughts? Heck yeah, I had poor thoughts. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I let those happen. So for sure, my frequency's low. At this point, I knew that I just needed more than just my regular exercise that I do. When I feel my thoughts coming down a little bit, I know my frequency's getting low. So I can hit some push-ups real quick, hit some dips. I'm good to go. At this point, I was already at the poor feeling. So I was kind of deep. So I knew I needed a little more than my maintenance exercise. I needed a full workout. So I came home, got to my workout area, and did my thing. And just as I expected, boom, frequency went up. How do you know your frequency went up? Because my thoughts got back on check and my feelings got back on check. Yes, once again, this worked. This formula worked. So I was feeling good. And then I looked around. I was like, I don't really want to make any changes. Everything's going fine. What was I thinking? Then, obviously, that was making me feel good. So that means my thoughts were obviously good because my thoughts were dictating my feelings. My thoughts were like, everything's fine. Why did you let that happen? I wasn't asking because I wanted the answer. I was asking kind of sarcastically, like, really, why did you let it get that far? You should have been aware. And, you know, I was vulnerable. Something happened that caught me slipping and I fell into the low thoughts and here came the low feelings for sure. This reminded me that I have to be aware of my thoughts. I can't let my thoughts come down. Even know that someone that's been at this for a while already, I'm making sure that their thoughts are always at 100. You're going to slip up. And it's okay. It's going to happen. It's part of the journey. This journey of becoming the version of you that you would admire, living on purpose, it never ends. It only ends when you end. As long as we're still here and doing our thing, we got to make sure that we keep that vibe high at all times as much as possible. But when we do have those little dips, boom, we're on top of it and we get them back up. And whenever we get caught slipping and we get those low dips, we really know that we have to get up. It's not about getting into the low action parts. And even if you do, if you get into that action and make some things and make some changes, whatever, maybe that's what it takes for you to click and go, oh my gosh, no, what am I doing? Really, it only takes that first time when you do it and you see it all go back to normal. Like, whoa, all it took was some exercise to get me back up again. That's all it takes for you to understand how it works. That's all it took for me. It took for me like, okay, let me see if this works. And I did it and it worked. That's when I was like, okay, there's something to this. I've used it every time. I used it today. I had those low thoughts, those low feelings. Here came a little bit of the low actions. I skipped the exercise and went straight to the heavier workout. And for sure, once again, it worked.